Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Tim Stenivek, along with Emily Grafeo. Let's take a look at some stocks that are on the move. We are joined by Bloomberg News equities reporter Nora Melinda. Nora, what's on your radar today?
Well, we look at the market that's pointing lower, but there are a couple names that are popping into the green. One of those being Intel. So shares of Intel, ticker INTC, they're charging higher, earlier up as much as 12%, but now pairing to about a 7% gain. And this is after the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said that Trump believes that the federal government should get a non-voting stake in the company. And they're actually citing this in exchange for the money commitment that happened during the Biden administration here. So it seems to be getting a bit of a pop right now. We're seeing a lift. And of course, we know there's been a lot of news that's been coming in recent days, especially with SoftBank, just yesterday, making that surprise $2 billion bet on its AI revival. So it seems to be a bit of a positive day here for the company.
Yeah, Intel has really lifted itself up. I mean, it's up 28% this month, adding $25 billion in market value.
Right,
just in the
up
last
26% year to date.
A far cry from what we heard not last week, but the week before, when the president actually called for the ouster of the company's CEO,
Absolutely.
Lip Bhutan. He did that on social media. And then the CEO went to the White House. Then we got all this reporting from Bloomberg about a potential U.S. stake. So it's really interesting stuff.
Definitely a turn in story here, it seems, at least for the moment. I'm also looking at shares of Viking Therapeutics. Definitely a different story here. It is deep in the red today, down as much as 45%. That's its worst day since 2016. Not a good look right now. And of course, this is after it had this an experimental obesity pill that disappointed. It was a mid-stage study here. And 28% of the patients that were in this study dropped out in just the first 3 months here. So we are really seeing this as one of those cases where people are really comparing it to the likes of Novo Nordisk and Lilly. And of course, we see all these different companies really racing to get these obesity pills out there and on the market. And it seems that clearly this disappointed here for us to be seeing such a deep plunge in trading today.
Viking Therapeutics, ticker VKTX.
Yeah, worst stock drop in 9 years.
Wow, yeah.
And Bloomberg's Carmen Renicky writes about the short sellers on this stock, at least reaping $514 million just right now, a one-day paper profit, if that actually, if the losses hold, which is a lot of money.
Yeah, down 40% year to date. So lots of red that we're seeing on the screen right now as it relates to this stock. I want to end with the name in the green, looking at shares of Home Depot. That's ticker HD here. And of course, we know this to be a home improvement retailer, but essentially what people are focusing on right now is its comparable sales. So it reported comparable sales that were up 1% this past quarter, but that's in comparison to the 3.3% decline that we saw in comparable sales a year ago. So this is a bit of a positive swing here for the company. We're seeing Wall Street really celebrating this here. They're saying that shoppers are really invested in smaller projects, apparently gardening, lighting, and that's really been a tailwind here for the company. Looking at shares that are about 5% higher, as much as 5% higher in trading today, now trading about 3%.
I found the CFO's comments to Bloomberg really interesting. Richard McPhail said, quote, "Our customers are telling us they're putting projects on hold. They are not canceling them." Mm-hmm. And they're doing smaller projects too.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like people are doing the whole fixer-upper moment. So it is a lot of these smaller projects that we're seeing done here. People like the gardens, apparently.
It's a seasonal business.
It's seasonal, right?
None of that is easy in the Stenivek home. I will just say that. All due to my ineptitude when it comes to home improvement.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.